Imagine standing alone on the wind-swept plains of ancient Rome, the sun dipping below the horizon like a weary emperor relinquishing his throne, casting long shadows that whisper forgotten truths into the gathering dusk. You felt it too, haven't you? That quiet ache in your chest when the world presses in, when failures stack like stones upon your shoulders, and the noise of modern life drowns out the voice within. What if there was a hidden secret, buried deep in the scrolls of the Stoics, one that Marcus Aurelius carried through plagues and wars, a key so profound it could unlock the chains of your own silent struggles? Not the surface wisdom you've skimmed in passing quotes, but the veiled essence that Epictetus hinted at in his chains, the one Zeno of Citium glimpsed in the marketplace chaos, promising not just endurance, but a transcendent peace that eludes the masses. Picture this: a young executive in today's gleaming skyscrapers, scrolling endlessly through feeds of curated perfection, heart racing with unspoken fears of inadequacy. Could this secret be the thread that pulls him back from the brink? Or the single mother juggling endless demands, her mind a storm of what-ifs, discovering a timeless anchor that steadies her soul? But wait, what if the secret isn't about adding more to your life, but stripping away the illusions that bind you? Marcus Aurelius once wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Yet he guarded something deeper, a revelation that turned emperors into philosophers and slaves into sages. What drove Seneca to face death with calm defiance, penning letters that echo through centuries? We suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Was it mere philosophy, or a concealed practice that rewove the fabric of existence? Feel the pull now, the curiosity gnawing at you, wondering if this hidden Stoic truth could rewrite your story, transforming anxiety into clarity, anger into wisdom, loneliness into self-sufficiency. But how did Cleanthus, the water carrier turned philosopher, embody this secret in his humble labors, singing hymns to Zeus while others chased fleeting fortunes? And Epictetus, born into bondage, teaching that true freedom lies not in breaking physical chains, but in mastering the inner ones. What unspoken ritual did he perform daily to maintain that unbreakable spirit? You're on the edge now, aren't you? The world rushes by, deadlines, distractions, doubts, but here, in this moment, a door creaks open to antiquity's guarded vault. What if embracing this secret meant no longer fearing loss, but welcoming it as a teacher? Imagine the weight lifting as you uncover layers of deception you've built around your own heart. Yet the journey begins with a question: why have so few truly grasped it, while billions suffer in ignorance? FOMO grips you. Others might stumble upon it tomorrow, reshaping their lives while you hesitate. But hold on, the reveal unfolds slowly, like dawn breaking over the forum, each step drawing you deeper into the emotional labyrinth where philosophy meets the raw pulse of human experience. Seneca warned, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." What if this secret is the map to reclaiming every wasted moment? Psychologically, it's rooted in the brain's ancient wiring. Neuroscience shows how our amygdala hijacks reason and stress, but Stoic practices rewire neural pathways for resilience, mirroring modern cognitive behavioral therapy. Yet the true power lies in the story, yours, mine, theirs, interwoven with the ancients. As you read on, feel the mirror reflecting back. That's me, lost in overthinking, comparing my chapter to others' highlights. But what if the hidden secret whispers that your struggles are not flaws, but forge fires? Curiosity builds. What form does this secret take? Is it a mindset, a ritual, a forgotten virtue? Open loops dangle. How did it save an emperor from despair? And could it do the same for you in traffic jams and heartbreak? Emotionally, it's a balm for the soul's bruises. Philosophically, a quake shifting foundations. Lean in, the veil thins, but the full unveiling awaits those who persist. This isn't motivation, it's awakening, timeless and personal, pulling you into the cinematic epic of your own life, where every frame pulses with potential transformation. Will you turn away or step into the shadows where the Stoics hid their greatest gift?
Fade into the flickering torchlight of a dimly lit Athenian stoa, where shadows dance like unspoken doubts on weathered stone walls, and the air hums with the low murmur of philosophers dissecting the human soul. You've been there in your own way, haven't you? Sitting alone in the glow of your screen late at night, scrolling through stories of injustice, feeling the weight of overlapping burdens that no single label can capture. The sting of gender expectations clashing with cultural heritage, the silent barriers of class intersecting with race, leaving you wondering why the world feels so fractured. What if the hidden Stoic secret begins here, not as a modern invention, but as an ancient echo resonating through time, whispering that these intersections aren't curses, but crucibles for true wisdom? Zeno of Citium, the Phoenician merchant who founded Stoicism after a shipwreck stripped him bare, stood in that very marketplace, observing how identities, slave or free, Greek or barbarian, interwove like threads in a vast cosmic tapestry, yet virtue alone determined one's worth. He taught that we are all citizens of the cosmos, a radical idea in a divided world where emperors ruled and slaves toiled, yet the path to eudaimonia, that flourishing life, was open to all, regardless of intersecting oppressions. Imagine a young woman today navigating corporate corridors where her ambition collides with subtle biases, her ethnicity dismissed in meetings, her gender questioned in promotions, her mind a whirlwind of anxiety and self-doubt, much like the internal storm Seneca described in his letters to Lucilius. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor, Seneca penned. But apply that to the cravings born of societal intersections, the hunger for validation amid overlapping discriminations, where overthinking spirals into a vortex of comparison and loneliness. Yet what if this secret unveils that these intersections aren't random afflictions, but invitations to Stoic practice, rewiring the brain's neural pathways, as modern neuroscience confirms? Studies show mindfulness rooted in Stoic reflection reduces amygdala reactivity, calming the fight-or-flight response triggered by perceived threats in identity clashes. Picture Epictetus, the lame slave turned sage, lecturing from his humble stool, his body marked by chains and disability, yet his spirit unbound. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. Was his resilience the first glimpse of this hidden truth, recognizing how class, ability, and origin intersected in his life, not to diminish him, but to forge unbreakable inner freedom? Feel it now. That's me, you think, caught in the web of modern identities where social media amplifies every flaw, every unfair overlap, breeding anger that simmers unspoken. But hold the curiosity. If Zeno's cosmopolitanism hinted at unity beyond divisions, why did later Stoics like Cleanthes, the former boxer who carried water by day and studied by night, hymn the divine order that binds all fates? His hymn to Zeus speaks of a rational universe where every thread, no matter how tangled, serves the whole. Yet what deeper practice did he employ to transcend his lowly status? Emotionally, it's a quiet revolution, pulling you from isolation toward connection, philosophically challenging the illusion of separateness. As you delve deeper, questions arise. How does this secret transform failure from a personal defeat into a universal lesson? Imagine the executive from before, his privileges intersecting with hidden insecurities, learning through Stoic lens that true power lies not in erasing intersections, but in mastering reactions to them. Neuroscience echoes this, with cognitive reframing building emotional resilience against compounded stresses. But the reveal lingers. Is intersectionality the modern name for what Stoics lived, a hidden framework for empathy and self-mastery? Seneca again, no man was ever wise by chance. What chance encounters in your life have revealed intersecting paths, and how might embracing them lead to peace? The tension builds, curiosity hooks you. If this is just the beginning, what revelation awaits when we peel back another layer, perhaps one that ties anger to these overlaps, promising a calmer horizon? Psychologically, it's profound. Intersectional awareness, viewed stoically, fosters gratitude amid adversity. As brain scans reveal increased prefrontal cortex activity in those practicing acceptance. Yet the story unfolds deliberately, mirroring your own journey through doubt and discovery, each step feeling personal, cinematic, like watching your life reframed in ancient light. Lean closer, the next insight beckons, raising a bolder question. What if controlling these intersections isn't the goal, but understanding their illusion is? That's me again, you whisper in the quiet moments of overthinking, seeking solace in a world of comparisons. The emotional pull deepens, philosophical depth sharpens. Will this secret finally name the ache or tease a greater truth just out of reach?
Night falls over the Roman Forum, marble columns glowing faintly under a canopy of stars, and Marcus Aurelius sits alone on the cold steps of the Curia, ink-stained fingers tracing words no one will read in his lifetime. You know this solitude, the 2 a.m. silence, when every identity you carry, child of immigrants, the only one in the room, the one who never quite fits, collides in a single suffocating wave. The hidden Stoic secret begins to take shape here, not as theory, but as lived fire. Marcus writes to himself, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Yet beneath that line lies the unspoken practice, the deliberate widening of the soul until it can hold every intersecting wound without breaking. He ruled an empire fractured by class, tribe, and conquest, yet night after night he returned to the same quiet act, seeing the universal in the particular, the human in the hated. Modern neuroscience calls this metacognition. The Stoics simply lived it. When the brain's default mode network spins tales of rejection, Stoic attention gently redirects to what is shared: breath, reason, mortality. Feel the shift already. That's me carrying invisible scars from childhood poverty layered over adult ambition, from being too much and never enough at once. Epictetus, whose leg was twisted by a cruel master, laughed at the idea that any external label could touch the ruling faculty. If someone handed your body to anyone they pleased, he asked his students, would you be disturbed? They answered yes. Then why do you hand your mind to every passerby who insults you? Imagine him speaking directly to the woman who flinches when her accent is mocked, to the man whose queerness intersects with religious shame. Imagine him smiling, unshackled. The secret sharpens. Intersection is not a burden added to life. It is the very terrain on which the Stoic fortress is built. Every overlapping pressure is raw material for virtue. Seneca, exiled thrice, stripped of wealth and status, wrote from Corsica's rocks, "I have lost everything except myself." The loss of every external layer revealed the indestructible core. Your layers, race, gender, trauma, expectation, are not prisons. They are the chisel. But here the curiosity deepens. If the first glimpse of the secret is seeing intersection as training ground, what is the daily practice that turns the chisel into wings? Marcus hints in Book 4. At dawn, when you have trouble getting out of bed, tell yourself,
I have to go to work as a human being, not as a man, not as emperor, not as bereaved father, simply as a human being. The intersections fall silent before that single identity. Yet the emperor never preached this aloud. He hid it in private pages as if too sacred for the Senate floor. Why? Because most souls are not ready to drop every label and stand naked in reason. Are you? The question hangs like incense in the air. Anger still rises when injustice compounds, that's human, but the secret whispers a second movement. Use the heat. Do not be used by it. Modern studies on complex trauma show that those who reframe intersecting adversities as moral training, exactly what Stoics did, exhibit lower cortisol and higher life satisfaction. The science merely catches up to the ancients. And still the deeper layer beckons. If intersection is the arena and attention the weapon, what is the final strike that ends the war inside? The torchlight flickers lower. The night is far from over.
Rain lashes the tent on the Danube frontier, 171 AD. Inside, Marcus Aurelius kneels in the mud beside a dying soldier, a Thracian conscript who speaks no Latin, whose tribe Rome once crushed, and the emperor wipes blood from a face that could have been an enemy's. In that moment, intersectionality is no lecture, it is flesh and breath. The hidden secret crystallizes, to see the same spark of logos in every pair of eyes, no matter how many walls, language, rank, history stand between. Marcus writes later, "What is not good for the beehive cannot be good for the bee." Not metaphor, survival. He governed 60 million souls threaded by 1,000 identities, yet every morning he performed the same quiet ritual, the view from above. From the vantage of the stars, borders dissolve, skin colors blur, titles vanish. Neuroscience now maps this as the overview effect. Astronauts reported from orbit. Stoics induced it daily. Your own mind can do it right now. Close your eyes and rise. Watch the tiny figure that is you, carrying your particular cocktail of heritage, trauma, desire, fear, and see it shrink against the turning earth. That's me, you realize, clutching my small story so tightly that I suffocate. The soldier dies at dawn. Marcus does not flinch. He has trained for this. Epictetus trained harder. Born a slave, body broken, he still greeted every dawn with the question, "What is up to me today?" Only one thing ever was, the quality of his judgments. Everything else, master, limp, poverty, the intersecting oppressions of his time, belonged to fate. The secret thickens. The more intersections you bear, the more opportunities fate gifts you to practice the only freedom that exists. Seneca, watching his own blood drain in Nero's bathtub, smiled and dictated final letters because every previous exile had been rehearsal. The intersecting losses, wealth, health, reputation, were not punishments. They were dress rehearsals for the final act. Modern trauma research confirms it. Those who face compounded adversity and deliberately extract meaning emerge with post-traumatic growth, not disorder. The Stoics simply systematized it 2 millennia early. But here the hook tightens. If the view from above dissolves labels, and if repeated loss is training, then what is the single daily act that welds them into unbreakable calm? Marcus hints in Book 7, "Choose not to be harmed, and you will not feel harmed. Choose not to feel harmed, and you have not been." It sounds impossible until you watch a crippled slave or a dying emperor live it.
The rain stops. Somewhere inside you, something stirs. The next layer is close enough to taste, and it is fiercer than anything yet spoken.
Dawn creeps over the Aegean, and on a small stone bench in Nicopolis, Epictetus sits barefoot, watching the first fishing boats cut silver lines across the water. A wealthy young Roman arrives, furious. His father disowned him for loving a man. His peers mock his softness. His provincial accent betrays him everywhere. Tears streak the patrician face. Epictetus does not console. He asks one question: who exactly is being hurt right now? The boy stammers, "I am." Epictetus smiles like sunrise. "No, impressions are being hurt. You are the faculty that judges impressions." In that instant, the hidden Stoic secret flashes naked. The entire architecture of intersectional pain collapses the moment you stop agreeing with the story that this should not be happening to someone like me. The boy blinks. Something ancient shifts inside him. That's you, right now, reading this, feeling the exact same resistance when the world labels you wrong, broken, late, too much, not enough. The secret is not tolerance of injustice. It is surgical detachment from the internal narrator who keeps adding commentary to injustice. Neuroscience calls it metacognitive awareness, the ability to watch your thoughts instead of being them. Epictetus called it prohairesis, the ruling faculty, and declared it the only territory no tyrant, no prejudice, no intersecting oppression can ever occupy. Marcus practiced it on the battlefield. You do not have to turn this into a tragedy, he reminded himself when plague corpses piled outside his tent. Seneca practiced it in exile. Nothing happens to the wise man against his expectation. They were not denying pain, they were refusing to author its sequel. The boy in Nicopolis leaves lighter, carrying no new technique, only the sudden recognition that every layer of identity, son, lover, Roman, provincial, had been voluntarily glued to his soul by his own ascent. Peel the glue and the layers fall like autumn leaves. Modern studies on minority stress show exactly this. When individuals practice voluntary disidentification from oppressive narratives, Stoic ascent withdrawal, symptoms of anxiety and depression plummet. The ancients simply never needed the study, they lived the data. But the curiosity coils tighter. If the secret is withholding assent from harmful impressions, then what is the one impression almost everyone keeps assenting to, even the Stoics themselves in their weaker moments? Marcus confesses it in Book 8 like a guilty whisper, the impression that time is running out. The next revelation waits in that confession, and it will cut deeper than any before. The candle gutters in Marcus's tent, 18 AD. He is 59, lungs failing, empire crumbling. And for once the emperor's hand trembles as he writes, "Soon you will have forgotten all things, and all things will have forgotten you." The hidden secret now stands almost fully revealed, and it is merciless. The final intersection we all carry is the one between the self and death. Every other overlapping burden, race, gender, trauma, shame, is merely rehearsal for this last universal crossing. Marcus stares at the flame and performs the ultimate Stoic act. He withholds assent from the impression this should not be happening so soon. No bargaining, no rage, only the quiet widening of the soul until it can contain its own ending. That's you too, isn't it? The deepest ache beneath every modern anxiety is the terror that your story will end unfinished, unseen, unloved. The intersecting wounds of life are painful, but they are survivable. Death is the one intersection that swallows every label whole. Epictetus, facing execution rumors with a shrug, said, "If the room is smoky, I leave. If the smoke is too much, I leave for good." No drama. Seneca, veins opened, joked with friends while quoting poetry. They had rehearsed the final scene so often in imagination,
premeditatio malorum, that when it arrived, it felt like coming home. Neuroscience now shows that regular contemplation of mortality shrinks the amygdala and thickens the insula, the very brain regions that regulate fear and empathy. The Stoics stumbled onto neuroplasticity through sheer disciplined imagination. And here the last veil flutters. The hidden secret is not a technique, not a habit, not even a philosophy. It is the daily deliberate death of the false self, the one built from every intersection the world forced upon you, so that the true self, the one made of pure reason and goodwill, can walk unburdened into whatever comes. Marcus closes his journal with the softest line he ever wrote. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live. The candle dies. Silence floods the tent. The empire will forget him in a century, the universe in a heartbeat. Yet in that forgetting, he is finally, perfectly free. One breath remains. One last truth hovers unspoken until now, and it will feel like the entire film has been leading to this single sentence.
The screen holds on absolute darkness for 3 heartbeats. No music, no voice, only the faint sound of your own breathing. Then, softly, like a whisper from the edge of sleep. The hidden Stoic secret is this: there is no intersectionality to overcome. There is only the eternal, undivided I that was never born and never dies. Every label you ever carried, every wound, every privilege, every story of to this or not enough that, was borrowed clothing draped over something that was already complete. Marcus discovered it on his deathbed. Epictetus in chains, Seneca in the bath, Zeno on the wrecked shore. The moment you stop defending the costume falls away, and what remains cannot be oppressed, cannot be exalted, cannot be touched by time. That is why they smiled. Not because suffering vanished, but because the one who suffers was seen to be a fiction. You feel it now, don't you? The quiet click inside the chest, like a lock turning after a lifetime of searching for the key in the wrong room. The anxiety about being misunderstood, the anger at unfairness, the loneliness of carrying multiple burdens, they are still present, yet suddenly weightless, like clouds passing through an open sky that was always untouched. This is the sacred stillness the Stoics guarded in silence. No empire could give it, no tyrant could take it, no intersection could define it. Cleanthus ended his hymn to Zeus with a single line that now lands in your bones. Lead me, Zeus, and you too, destiny, wherever you have appointed me, I follow without hesitation. Lead you where? Here. This ordinary, irreplaceable moment, stripped of every story except the one that was never written. I am. Breathe out. The film ends not with triumph, but with silence so deep you can hear your own heart remembering what it always knew. That's enough.